Hi, this is Charles again with another a little bit deeper review into Operation Barbarossa. I read through the rules today. I'm still putting together the minis, but I wanted to talk about the game a little bit. The rule book is really nice, and the cards work really well with the system. Again, it's a dry erase marker system. The ones that came with the game, to me, had kind of thick counters. I have a problem pressing with a tip that thin, so I went out and bought some thinner ones. Hopefully that'll work out better. I ordered some numbers from marketdots.com to number all these units because I don't think that's going to be quite enough. The dry erase pads look kind of like Stridex pads, the dice that come in it. Not sure if there's enough, but it'll be fine. So taking a look at a card, we'll start at the point value on the top left. This is the type of unit that it is. The defensive value is 1 by itself, and then after that 1 goes away, then you start taking hits up top. The number of dice that you throw depends on the strength, which correlates with the number of guys that you have up here. So for infantry against infantry, it's 8 dice. If you have 2 hits or 1 hit, it goes down to 6 dice. If you have 3 hits, it goes down to 4 dice. I'm sorry, 2 hits, it goes down to 4 dice. 3 hits, it goes down to 3 dice and 2. And the same goes for each type of weapon. You can see the type of units that this unit can attack. You can see the range here. The first hex is close combat with the star in it. The second one, you would hit on 1s or 2s, hit on 1s or 2s. And on the third one, you hit on 1s. The number of the unit is on the top right here. And I'm going to go through and assign these to each specific unit. So I'm going to get pre-printed market dot tags and put the corresponding one to here, so I don't have to worry about accidentally erasing that. When I was playing the other night, I would write things down. I'd go to wipe it off, and these numbers kept coming off. Same for on the back here. So I'll make the front match the back. The status of the unit is listed down at the bottom. So he's either in transit, he's in ambush mode, which means he's off the board, and his secret hex is written on the back here. Even though the other team can see where you go into ambush at, they have to remember where you were. This is entrenched, so that's an extra +1 to the defense as well as ambushes. And this is suppressed. You can see your 10 units of ammo across the bottom here, so each time that you do an open fire you have to scratch one of these off. If you do a suppression fire you have to scratch 3 off, and then you declare your orders on the back. So each turn, each and every one of your units for your side, you will mark which order that you're using. You look at the card, and you can do a stealthy move here for +1 for defense, and you can see the 1 hex there, and that means you can only move 1 space. You can do an assault, moving 1 space. You can do a normal move, which is 2 hexes. And one of the notes in the rule book was that it's very nice for multilingual players. So if you're in another language and you look at this card, you can pretty much understand it by looking at it. Unloading from a truck, loading to a truck. And some things take 2 steps, like loading supplies. So if a supply truck comes into your area and wants to give you supplies and to reestablish these down here, it'll take you 2 steps to reload your units. If you want to dig a trench, it takes 4 steps to do that entrenchment. And you put the number of the hex side that the entrenchment is being placed. The ambush, going off of memory, is your originating hex and the hex that you're facing to. And this establishes your kill zone. Now that little marker right there means that you can only kill in the space in front of you and then triangulate out. This hex here, I'm sorry, where's the one? There's one where it changes directions. I don't see that on here. I'm sorry, this is defensive fire. And you do have a kill zone there. There is other cards have like a machine gunner has a kill zone in front of him, and you have to order him to turn around if you want to fight behind you, because you can't attack somebody from behind. This is regrouping, basically pulling your units back together. You put a check there if you have 2 damaged units together and you want to regroup them. This is an open fire order, and this is sustained fire. So let's take a quick look here at the differences between the units. So we've got a German unit who's cost 12. And a Russian unit which costs 10. Each of them have fire. The fortification rolls is basically the morale check. So he does a morale check against an 8 or less. Each time a unit is lost, you can see the unit with the scratch symbol through it is -1. Same thing as here. The attack value against infantry is 9 dice for the German player and 8 for the American player. And you can see there's about a 1 difference on each one all the way down the board. Each one of these guys can attack an airplane, which I find quite odd, but I'm going to have to play it more to understand that. I haven't played the airplane rules yet. And so the statuses are pretty much the same for all that. Looking at the back side, movement is the same. Unloading the entrenchment. Okay, there's that entrenchment there. So there's a couple slight differences. So in ambush mode and defensive fire, you have a kill zone. That's that little marker right there. Looking at similar tanks, or we can look at a supply truck. So the supply truck has all this ammo on it, and has, as he reloads units around the board, you mark these off. So he basically moves around up to 4 or 5 spaces, and then he gets to an area, and then he does this, unloading supplies, which is a 2 movement, which is the same as the card. So each turn you would put a check here, and then the next turn you put another check there, and the other unit would receive that. Put the check after the 2, he would receive his bullets from the supply truck. And once these are gone, they're gone. I don't think there's a way to resupply this one. The T-34 versus the Panzer. So let's see, they both shoot at 2-2-2-1-1. So it's a hit on a 1 or a 2, 1 or a 2, 1 or a 2, and then at 4 away it's 1, and 5 away is another 1. Fortification roll is the same, 9 and 9. So you roll 2 dice, and you want to get less than or equal to 9. Each time you take out a unit, you subtract 1 from that number, so it could go down to an 8, 7, 6. The inherent defensive value of the T-34 is a 3. So that means when he takes hits against him, you can take those 3 off before you start actually taking casualties. This is a 2 for the Panzer. So this guy can attack against infantry, artillery, supply trucks, personnel carriers, light tanks, medium tanks, and heavy tanks. His statuses are ambush mode or suppressed. On the back, the movement looks about the same. You can assault with 2 spaces. You can move for 3. So move, regular move is there. Regular move. Open fire. Need to get a little better on these rules before I start teaching the game, huh? Mortars. So the Russian player is a 10 against infantry and 6. Yep, same across. 6-4. Aye. Now I've still got to get in the rule book to look at these things, but I did want to show you the rule book kind of quick, how easy it is to understand. The most important thing to understand about this game is the sequence of play. So when you issue an order, there's a certain sequence that it happens. So the execution play of sequence. So defend orders happen first. So if you issue an order to defend, those take place first. Suppression fire happens next. All the units with suppression fire take orders. Open fire happens next. Orders does firing against all units out in the open. Fortitude test. Any unit that suffers casualties due to enemy fire must make a fortitude check. Air missions. assault orders, moving and firing, and then do your fortitude check. Ambush, all units with the ambush orders, which are hidden, can take their actions. And more than likely it's going to be another ambush or like in a waiting status unless somebody moves in front of them, then they'll move to an open fire. Special orders, move out, and fortitude tests, and then you update the status. So it's very simple. Each unit gets one order that's hidden, and then everybody flips at the same time, so it simulates a simultaneous movement. All attacks against each other in the same phase are simultaneous. You can see the kill zones are explained, the flanks and the rears, the close combat. Fortitude tests are explained in detail. I read through this today and I really understood every single thing that was in here, and I usually have a tough time with rule books. It might have helped that I played it a little bit first. But you can see how on an assault you have to declare which unit that you're assaulting. You can move one hex and then you check that box off to declare an assault during your orders phase. You can do withdrawals, join up, detect mines, place mines, mine detonations, set charges, place smoke, remove barbed wire. You can set up a pontoon bridge with your engineers. You can receive supplies. You can dig in. You can clear a path, move out, encounters, group cards. I'm not sure what that is. I have to get to that. Movement orders, careful movement, which is to move one for the +1 defense. So there's quite a bit to this game, but what's nice is all the pictures, once you kind of read through the rules and stuff, kind of click together and you look at it and you automatically know what it is. I've played quite a few board games, I guess, but this one really makes sense all the way across. So I like the simplicity of it, and looking at the pictures helps me remember exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. You can also buy terrain, barbed wire, dragon's teeth trenches, pillboxes. The terrain has the values here. We haven't got to that page yet. Hills are three-dimensional, which are kind of nice. Nice stack. So that's it for today. I'm hoping to do a game demonstration tomorrow with a friend of mine, and I hope you enjoyed the review.